Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building as always, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive weekend, man. I know I am. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when I'll be going live. I go live pretty much every night, man. And I post videos on the regular. Post a lot of shorts as well, and they've been extremely successful. So thank you to all the subscribers that have been tuning in. But what I want to get into today is the whole Amanda Serrano situation, along with the corruption of WBC. You know what I'm saying? It's something that needs to be talked about. You know what I mean? When I look through my YouTube feed, I feel like a lot of people aren't really speaking on this. Like they know about it, but they don't really care to speak on it. You know what I mean? Maybe because it's not an attractive thing to talk about. It's not the most popular topic, and it won't really attract views for their channel. But I'm for standing up for what's best for boxing. So at this particular time, and I feel like at any time, I'm not too necessarily worried about the views because um, I got great supporters anyway, and they rock with Mazuma Nation, man. So we definitely gonna get the speaking on it. But before I get into that, man, shout out to Amanda Serrano, man. She's being a true trailblazer for women's boxing. You know what I mean? She's been taking a lot of chances, made a lot of sacrifices. Like I've been saying on my lives, man, Amanda Serrano was only making $5,000 for world title shots. You know what I'm saying? For like world title fight, she was getting 5 racks, bro. And will rematch the same woman and will get just as much, and if not less. You know what I mean? She really came from the gutter, man. She really took something. She took nothing and made it into something, man. And you gotta applaud her for that. She has came a long way, especially since signing with Jake Paul, man. Shout out to Jake Paul and the great business moves he's been making outside of the ring for Amanda Serrano. She was the first woman, from what I understand, with that fight with Katie Taylor to get the first $1 million payday. You know what I'm saying? Which that is amazing in itself, because if you would have looked at women's boxing a decade ago, you would have never thought that that would even be a thing. You know what I mean? They sold out MSG as well. And now she's the first woman to do 12 rounds, 3 minutes, just like the men. You know what I'm saying? I applaud that 1,000%. I'm backing that play 1,000%, because this is something that women have been calling for a long time. I remember Clarissa Shields speaking on it. You know what I'm saying? And she's the in the world, and a lot of people were like opposed to it. Why? I'm not necessarily sure. One of the biggest reasons from what I've seen is that it could be extremely hurtful to women. They're not built like men. You know, it could be bad for their health, and that's extremely hypocritical in my eyes to talk about something's bad for their health, because when you really break it down, boxing is bad for your health. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're literally in a business that's called the hurt business. So if you're a boxing fan and you enjoy these dudes beating the brakes off of each other, why are you so concerned about their health? You know what I mean? It's absolutely hypocritical when you really think about it. Like, you guys aren't doctors. You guys aren't anybody to have any type of interest in them wanting to preserve their health, because you guys literally sit there and enjoy them hurting each other. So that really doesn't make sense. And in all honesty, since this is the hurt business, it doesn't matter whether it's 1 minute rounds, 2 minute rounds, whether they box at 8 rounds, 10 rounds, they're in danger regardless. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the time increments or how many rounds it is, they're in danger, and it's detrimental to their health regardless. So if they putting on and they sacrificing their bodies, their health, their lives for our entertainment, just give them what they want, man. I don't understand why women are being marginalized in the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? I'm always for what the fighter wants. You know what I'm saying? If they feel like they should get paid more, then they should go after the bigger paydays. If they feel like they should stand for a certain cause, then let them stand for it if it benefits boxing or themselves. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's really going on right now, man. Amanda Serrano hasn't really said anything about it. She's not someone who really speaks out too much. She really sticks to herself, real quiet, humble lady. But it's absolutely disgraceful how Mauricio Suleiman is really preventing some big things from happening in boxing. Like, when you really break it down, Mauricio Suleiman is really intervening in some fights that the boxing fans would love to see. I brought it up in my previous lives. He's literally blocking Dimitri Bivol from fighting Artur Beterbiev for undisputed at 175 pounds. So when people are going out and saying, "Oh, the 175 division dead, nobody's fighting each other. Why aren't Dimitri Bivol and Better Beef fighting each other?" It's because of Mauricio Suleiman. You know what I'm saying? Mauricio Suleiman had came out and he's banning Russian fighters from competing from the WBC, completely blocking them from the rankings, removing them from the rankings because Dmitry Bivol is from Russia and there's a whole war going on between Russia and Ukraine. But my thing is, what the fuck does that war have to do with Dmitry Bivol? Is he out there himself going to war against Ukraine? Is he hurting the Ukrainians? No, this is from what I understand, this is a family man who's strictly about boxing. He has nothing to do with that war. So why are you guys treating him as if he's the problem? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. And then the hypocrisy in that is that the WBC champion at light heavyweight is Artur Beterbiev, who is a Russian. He is from Dagestan. You know what I'm saying? And when they had asked him about it, they said, "Oh, he's lived in Canada for 15 years, so we made an exception for him. He has a Canadian passport. He has this, he has that, as if that fucking matters, bro." So because he has a citizenship and he's been living somewhere for a little bit more over than a decade, that just completely gives him the right to fight for the WBC. So does Dmitry Bivol have to move somewhere else and get a citizenship somewhere else to be eligible to fight for the WBC? Regardless of where this man moves, when he's introduced in the ring, he is from Dagestan in Russia. Okay, of course, he moved to Canada. All right, cool, but that's not where he's from. That's where he lives. You know what I'm saying? So it's absolute hypocrisy, man. I really don't understand that whole approach and why they're really punishing Bivol for something that he's not responsible for. You know what I'm saying? And for somebody like Mauricio Suleiman, who's coming out saying he's all for the health of fighters and stuff like that, you've shown throughout and doing things right by the fighters. You have shown throughout your entire career since being the head of the WBC that that's the least that you care about. What's apparent is you're strictly for Mexican fighters, man. You are for Mexican fighters. You prefer them, and you will do anything to come out your way to make sure that a certain person is holding that belt. You know what I'm saying? We've seen you create the franchise belt for Canelo so he wouldn't have to fight certain fighters. You know what I mean? We've seen you raise clenbuterol levels for Mexicans so they wouldn't fail drug tests when clenbuterol is clearly a performance enhancement drug that could really give somebody an advantage to really hurt somebody in the ring. So if you're so for the health of fighters, if you're so for the betterment of boxing or whatever you want to call it, if you're so for boxing and fighters' health and all of that, why are you raising clenbuterol levels for fighters when it clearly gives them an advantage to get up in there and hurt another man? You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like you're necessarily, and what I'm saying, don't act like you're necessarily for the fighter, because I clearly remember back in the day, you blackballing Sergio Martinez. You know what I mean? You guys blackballed Sergio Martinez, didn't allow him to be the champion that he was. He was the best middleweight in the world at the time. But y'all guys were so pressed on making Chavez Jr. the champion at middleweight. Not super middleweight. Y'all was so pressed on having Chavez Jr. be the middleweight champion because of his father that you guys openly disrespected Sergio Martinez and ended up biting y'all in the ass because Sergio came around and cooked the boy. You know what I'm saying? But it really showed exactly where y'all intentions are. Y'all guys don't have great intentions at all. And this is why back in the days, James Toney was talking about the WBC stands for We Be Crooks. You know what I'm saying? So that goes to show. And we could bring this back to females to women's boxing. You know what I mean? Because don't act like we forgot about the old Alejandra Jimenez fight with franchise Cruz Dezern. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is look this up, man. Alejandra Jimenez, a lot of people were saying she was a transgender. That's a whole totally different topic, but and I'm not sure of that, so I'm not even going to really speak on that. But what I do know is that going up to that Dezern fight, Alejandra Jimenez, and they fought on January 11th. She failed the pre-fight drug test January 10th, the day before. So the weigh-in. She failed a pre-fight drug test, and they somehow they only got knowledge of it 2 weeks after the fight, which is complete bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take 2 weeks to test a fucking sample. But what happened was they knew she failed the drug test, but they kept it on the low because they wanted the fight to go on because it benefited their pockets at the end of the day. That is exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? And to make matters worse, instead of reversing the decision and giving Franchon Cruz Dezern the win as they should have, because it was already a close split decision at that, they turned it into a no decision and then went on to give her a weak-ass 9-month suspension. This is all stuff that you could look up, man. This is stuff that I'm not making this up. This is all facts, right? The WBO was also on the line during that title fight. The WBO does the right thing, reinstates Franchon Cruz Dezern right away, gives her the belt. You know what I'm saying? And justifiably so, man. They did what they needed to do. But somehow the WBC makes Dezern fight someone else for the belt when she was clearly cheated out of it. So you mean to tell me that this woman put her life on the line against somebody who was clearly juiced up, right? And then she gets cheated. You know what I'm saying? They give her the win or whatever. She loses, whatever, cool. They find out she fails a drug test. So instead of doing the right thing and serving justice to the best of its ability, you literally hang the belt above his head and be like, oh, well, you still got to earn this. We don't care if they cheated you. We don't care if that woman cheated you. You still have to earn this title. As if she didn't just get fucked over. You know what I'm saying? So with all this being considered, and I could really do some more research and really break the WBC. You know what I'm saying? And really show that these guys are extremely hypocritical. They don't care about the health of the fighter. They don't care about what's right in boxing or what keeps the boxing world going forward. They only care about their pockets, and they obviously prefer Mexican fighters. All facts, hands down, no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody disagrees with me, we could definitely hop on the live and chop it up, and we could go point for point. You know what I'm saying? I got the facts in front of me. You know what I mean? I don't forget this shit. I've been in the boxing world for a very long time. I've been studying boxing. I've been covering boxing for years. I read every day about the world of boxing and what's going on. So there's not much that you could really tell me that I'm not already informed of. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Amanda Serrano, man. You still doing historical things, whether the WBC backs you or not. Keep doing what you need to do to elevate women's boxing. Do what's right for women. Stand up for these women and put on a great performance the night of to show that women are capable of fighting 3-minute rounds and in a 12-round bout. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing historical game-changing things and just let the WBC keep showing who they are, man, because it's only hurting their reputation at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. The WBC is definitely hypocritical. I'm going to keep on speaking out about the WBC. And it is what it is, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. This is Mazuma TV. Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building, of course. I'll be on live later on. I'll get at y'all. Peace.